Hello. I'm so excited that it's making me nervous. I am completely unspoiled. I have seen the trailer that was first shown at the Nintendo Direct for Chapter 5. I saw that one track that Toby released. I think it was called The Sunset of Seven Suns. And I think that's basically it. The chapter just came out, so there's no way for me to really be spoiled. If you're watching me for the first time, I guess I should say I have played chapters 3 and 4 on my channel previously. I didn't play chapters 1 and 2 because I had already played them by the time I started making videos. And I felt it just wouldn't be that interesting. Maybe I should have played them, but yeah. Is there anything I want to say before we go into Chapter 5? I guess I can go off about... Ever since Chapter 5 was announced, I've been consuming nothing but Deltarune content. Just out of curiosity and out of fixation. And it's been hilarious to see all the theories. The majority of theories were dashed when Chapters 3 and 4 came out. So I don't know why people are getting their hopes up now. It's like they haven't learned anything. I don't believe in any hypothesis right now. I see many different possibilities. I have many questions for what's going on with the Night Conspiracy. What happened to December? Where is December? The prophecy, the true intentions and origin of Ralsei, because I still don't trust him. He knows too much. It's too suspicious. But I guess I'll start with the Night. I don't believe in any particular hypothesis about the Night. Toby could do something completely different and still make it retroactively make sense. And personally, I think if December is the Night, that just raises more questions. It doesn't explain anything. It's just, now, what is her motive? Because if she's the Night and she's actively doing things, now she needs a motive, right? But if she's just missing and everyone else's motive is, who's involved in the conspiracy anyway, is to find her, then any hypothesis in which December isn't the Night probably makes more sense just if you apply Occam's razor, but that's my perspective anyway. I guess that's it. I'm not gonna ramble excessively, because I did when I played the previous 2 chapters, but I had way more to say back then. I left a poll, by the way, about who the Night is. People exclusively said, almost exclusively, said that it was December. And I don't know, we were all sure that Chris was the Night. I sure was. And that was wrong. So just based on precedent, I expect everyone to be wrong. And I will be happy about it, because I think that'll only make the story more interesting. Okay, that's enough. Let's get the show on the road. Ooh. I can't name it, but that sounded like a... The sound when I selected Chapter 5. I selected that option to play Chapter 5. Sounded like some sort of Japanese instrument, although I can't name it. And yeah, based on the trailer, it's interesting. I'm confident that the Dark World is Flower King. I'm confident that Asgore's gonna play a big role in it because it's in his flower shop. I mean, come on. We've had people who don't know about the Dark Worlds and everything appear in them. And there's some chance that Asgore already knows about the Dark Worlds, and it's part of his plan to show everyone and clear his name. Whatever the hell he did, because we still have no idea. About my save files, actually, this is important. I forgot until I saw them right now. If you've seen my previous playthroughs, this here is my normal playthrough. This is my Snowgrave playthrough. The normal playthrough's time is going... There's going to be a discrepancy with what you can see in my playthroughs of Chapters 3 and 4, because I replayed Chapters 3 and 4 to get the eggs, and I can't remember if I did anything else. I think that was basically it. When I did that, I did way better at the super boss of Chapter 3, and I think I've kept all of my revive items. So depending on how you look at it, maybe I have an advantage compared to before, but I've always replayed chapters shortly before new chapters release. I've been doing that. I am very curious what the hell's gonna happen with Snowgrave. I guess one other thing I forgot to mention is I saw the ARG with the emails that people were doing. I don't know what the official name for it is, but it was everyone being prompted with the question of how long did it take for her to smile. And apparently someone got a correct answer with where did it take place, which was the second part of this ARG. And they got an ominous image of the path to the lake, presumably, with an also ominous message. So the correct answer to where it'll take place is the lake. I don't know what to make of that, but I am worried and excited, which is how it's always been with the damn Snowgrave route. My most viewed video is the one in which I did, I think it was the first Chapter 4 Snowgrave video. Right, because I did Chapter 3 on my Snowgrave file, and nothing was different, pretty much. So I only recorded the Chapter 4 Snowgrave playthrough. Yeah, that's my most viewed video. Maybe it's because of apparently some controversial stuff where people are misinterpreting the symbolism at the end of the incredibly uncomfortable scene with Noelle. I think the fact that Toby changed the graphic for that basically tells us that the people who were interpreting it that way, that being sexual assault, sorry to bring it up, but that's what happened, and I'm gonna talk about it. I think the fact that Toby changed that graphic means that everyone who interpreted it that way was completely wrong. I know, death of the author and all that, you can see whatever you want in art, but I think if the author is actually there, where we can read the author's intent, I can say that you're wrong. What's happening with Noelle is disturbing, regardless if it's specifically about that or not. And what is this nonsense of, well, it doesn't literally happen, but it symbolically happens? It's like, well, what the hell are you even saying then? Anyway, I'm not sure if I got my feelings across quite that well in the Snowgrave video, but I just wanted to get that off my chest now. We're gonna have fun. One last adventure before the sun goes down, as Toby said, which in the case of this playthrough is the sun going down is me continuing this file. Okay. Nearly 10 minutes. That's not as bad as my previous ramblings. Here we go. Oh, okay. So Chris did go somewhere. trying to move around in the cage, but it doesn't seem... Okay. What have you been up to, Chris? The Black Shard reminds me, I've still heard people interpret the Black Shard that Asgore has as a shadow crystal, but shadow crystals are glass. And I don't know if it's the same in the light world, but Sham described that shadow crystals are called that because you can only see their shadows and they're otherwise invisible. So I think I'm almost certain that the Black Shard that Asgore has is a piece of the Knight's weapon, just like this Black Shard. By the way, if you're curious how much I know, assume I know everything there is to know, both from anything the community has discovered, because I do thorough research. So when I actually played the Holiday House sequence in Chapter 4, I missed Asgore's dialogue, but I did later find out that it's a thing, and it definitely got my gears turning. So I can't wait to see what he does. The cage. The cage with human soul and parts. I just realized the actual bird cage ties into that. Symbolically. Bed sheets, they are slightly warm. Really? Does the soul emanate heat? Your ride. Drawers. The bed is cold. On replay, will there be an option to sleep and skip to the dark world again? That's been a thing consistently. The sun is not fully risen. I think I'll record in 1 hour chunks. I'm expecting the light world stuff to take a while. I'm fine with that. Your brother's drawer. There are various unsent love letters inside. That's new, isn't it? Of course I'm gonna look. Your body is still shaky and feels weak, almost unfamiliar. Despite your weakness, will you really make your first priority, your very first priority, looking through your brother's letters, which you have already read, as if you haven't read them before? I'm viewing that as Chris talking to me. Yes, you are hiding things from me constantly. If I can, I'm gonna look. Despite your weakness, you proceed to open the first letter. Dearest December. I expected that, yeah. Your weakness gets the better of you. Letter dropped. Drawer closed. Yeah, right. Chris. Well, that's interesting, because one hypothesis for the night is that it's Azrael. Which I'm open to. I'm even open to it simply being December, the way everyone thinks. It'll make the story convoluted, I think, but if that's what Toby wants to do, I do think... Whatever Toby wants to do, I trust that it's gonna work out in the long run. Can I try again? Looks like an embarrassing drawer. So now Chris isn't even bothering. Your bed's brother. There's a USB microphone here. You remember it was originally intended for a console music game. I see. I'm going to be obsessively thorough here. And I'm wondering, I remember the bloodstain Which, given that it's right next to the cage, I wonder if Chris hurt himself. I want to emphasize something. What I just said. I didn't say him. I said apostrophe EM. That is to say, a contraction of them. You know what? Since I brought this up, I'm just gonna say it. I think Chris is just an ambiguous human. Because looking at all of the theories, constantly people obsessing over the identity of fictional characters kept coming up. And it just annoys me. Isn't it obvious that the character that we control, who is, aside from all the weird shit whenever Chris takes full autonomy, obviously Chris is not going to be specifically a girl or a boy or whatever. And the reason everyone refers to Chris as they/them is to keep the ambiguity. Would you prefer if everyone referred to Chris as the human, even though Chris has been living in this town for years? Wouldn't that be incredibly awkward? I think it's very similar to Undertale, what's happening with Chris, except now we know that the character we're controlling is not actually us. Same way in Undertale, the reveal that the human is Frisk was a twist, but now we're aware of that, so from the get-go the dynamic is different. That's my view. Because I've heard so many ridiculous and hypocritical things. It's like, I'm a guy, so when I'm controlling Chris, who is some ambiguous human, I'm gonna imagine myself in Chris's place. That's why I default to Chris being a boy. I don't actually think that's the case, because that's not the point. And I feel like whatever I say on this subject, people are just gonna be upset, so whatever. I don't think it matters. I doubt it's ever gonna come up. It's not gonna be plot relevant if Chris is really non-binary, as some people insist. I just think that's headcanon that people are desperately trying to say is canon, or at least imply that it's canon. But yeah, the hypocrisy that I heard from, I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to start shit, but a YouTuber in his analysis video at some point said, you know, it doesn't matter if you have any particular gender identity, you can still enjoy Toby Fox's games. And I'm like, well, yeah, it would be really dumb if Toby alienated any part of his audience. But then, very next sentence, this person says that if you question Chris's pronouns, you don't care about other people or how they feel. What am I supposed to do with that? I'm not a terrible person, because I don't view a fictional character the same way you do. At this point, I'm just amused by all of these notions. Okay, I will never bring that up again. I think I've made my point. The pre-ramble's getting longer. I'm just extending it into the game itself. Oh, that's interesting. Cactus. A lone bud is blooming. Is that going to be different in Snowgrave? Because I feel there's some symbology here. Book drawer. You open the drawer and looked at how to draw dragons. The cover's an appropriately dressed purple dragon stares back at you. Even though there was a dark world in your house, you didn't seem to meet a darkener based on this object. A shame, really. You scholarly contemplated this for an overly long period of time. I mean, I guess the stairway is open. This up here could have been part of the dark world. Maybe we just didn't visit that particular part. That's really funny. You open the drawer and shut it. Some things should stay closed. Your eyes wander over the face in the mirror. You quickly look away. Who is that? Locked. That's Toriel's room, right? A photo album of past festivals. You, Des, your brother, and Noel performing on stage. Uh-huh. You and your brother doing a cool point at the camera. You and Noel. The book went shut. Why is that? Is Chris... I did pick the right save file, right? Yeah, I did, but... Why is Chris acting uncomfortable about Noel? Maybe there's just something going on regardless of Snowgrave. I'm gonna continue calling it Snowgrave, by the way. I just think it's a way cooler and more... It gives you an idea of what the route is in some vague way without spoiling anything, whereas the weird route is so vague to the point where anyone who doesn't know isn't even gonna figure it out just based on that. Maybe that's the point, but I just like Snowgrave better. You and your brother eating candy apples together. Your mom going hyper mode, and Noel's mom looking annoyed. You and Noel. The book went shit. Yeah, that's a consistent thing. Your mom and your dad nuzzling noses as king and queen. Des and your brother with matching rocker face paint. You and Noel. Des, your brother and your dad's doing some kind of square dance. Your dad and Noel's dad winning the strength tester. Oh, we are gonna have a fair with all the usual tropes, I suppose. You and Noel, the book went shut. There's a lot in here. Your mom going hyper mode in the teacup ride. You and your brother doing a cool point at the camera. Oh, maybe it's random. I'll do it a few more times until... Yeah, that's... Yep. If it is random, which specific details you get. Maybe I've missed some, but I'm gonna get moving now. By the way, I did notice that this carpet seemingly has an eye pattern, which is now... How many little details have there been in the first two chapters that I missed, that we all missed? Because now you look at this carpet and you think of the Titans, and that's really cool. Okay, the lack of music was kind of suffocating, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I can't go in here. What the heck? Deodorant cupboard. Even though your body is still weak and overexerted, will you still make it your second priority to look at deodorant? Wait. Does this change depending on which of these interactions you do first? Pizza flavored deodorant with a cartoon mascot. Don't gotta smell good. I mean, sure. Gotta smell good means not looking inside. Was that the illusion of choice? Pizza flavored... right. I guess I can at least see the other option. Don't gotta smell. Oh, that's it. Yeah, it is the illusion of choice. What the heck? Was there a title associated with flushing the toilet? I forget. The titles, I've occasionally looked at them. There's interesting stuff like how many times you've slain something, which can currently only be done with the Titan spawn. But I forget a lot of the other things. There was Bed Inspector and the Moss. I don't remember if the toilet was a thing. I'm just wondering if Toriel is there. If she's gonna say anything. Maybe not. Green apple shampoo. You wonder if Susie would recognize you if you changed to a different fruit. Wait, is that why Queen calls Chris crisscross applesauce? I just put that together. The fridge. Somehow it's fully stocked. Except there's no ketchup. Ah, I was thinking about that immediately. The sink is beginning to replenish its lost white fur. Okay. That's why she didn't say anything when I flushed the toilet. The stovetop. No one in their right mind would make toast here. It's a toaster that toasts toast, just like all the other ones. Or rather, a microwave toaster oven. Seems someone took out the trash. So wait, did Sans do the chores? What's with the absence of the ketchup bottle, though? Huh. Chris, could you be a dear and put some toast on? I mean, sure. Thank you, dear. And don't forget to put honey on it, okay, honey? They're still doing the particle for necessary interactions, I guess. You put the toast in the microwave toaster and set it to toast. It will take 10 seconds for the toast to be done. It's a landline phone, but you already have a cell phone. Okay, that's not different. I remember that line. Wait, did I have to... Huh? Okay, I was just thinking, did I have to count? Is that gonna be a minigame? You took out the toast and carefully put honey on it. You got the honey toast. Could I mess with it? Honey toast, a food that a parent could eat. Because there are so many variations on interactions in the game as a whole, I'm just gonna give the toast tutorial and later learn if there are other interactions if you like eat it in front of her. Same as drinking Alphys's requested juice in the church. You gave Toriel the toast. Thank you for the honey, honey. Chris, how did you sleep last night, honey? I think I want to be honest. I could disregard how Chris feels, but I see. I should have suspected you were upset. There's only about 80% as much honey on this as normal. I got a bit carried away last night, didn't I? I mean, this is obvious already. I guess I should mention, people have really, I guess, yeah, some people have begun hating Toriel because of the end of Chapter 4. I kinda get where they're coming from, but I don't think it's... Toby likes all of his characters. I don't think anyone's just gonna be a terrible person and that's it. Besides, it's never that simple in general. I think I want to point this out. We were locked out. Huh? Chris, is that some sort of joke? Chris, you know where I hide the extra house key? I was surprised to find the house empty when I came home at 7. I tried calling you straight away, but your phone, I could not get through to it. Chris, did you take the IC charger? You know it does not work. Anyhow, I was very worried. I was about to go looking for you. Mr. Sands told me he saw you and Susie, well, you know, hanging out. And, well, he convinced me. Perhaps I should leave you be. It's actually perfectly reasonable. That thought did cross my mind. Like, if Sands said that, yeah, it all checks out. I'm more frustrated with how Toriel is not taking any action to fix the broken family, but I guess that's a fish too big to fry alone, maybe, so to speak. Oh, the festival is later today, is it not? A shame Azrael could not be here to go with you. Ah. You two had so much fun at those together. You would win so many whistles and toys. Which I had to, hide, because you two and your father made so much noise. Just a little while before we go to bring Azrael home. I wonder if it would be nice to surprise him early. Appear suddenly at his dormitory. What would he think? Just a crazy thought. Interesting. So right off the bat, we're probably not seeing Azrael. Unless it turns out that he has been secretly doing stuff ever since the internet went down, which is one idea. The room looks a bit naked without the TV. I completely forgot. When I replayed chapters 3 and 4, I didn't give Tenna to, I guess it's the ghost that would become Mettaton, right? I don't remember if Mettaton had a different name before that. Or the red cloth under where the TV was. I think Toby teased something about there being more dialogue with Tenna. I wonder how it plays out if you do give Tenna to Mettaton. Curious. Go have fun at the festival, honey. I am certain Susie would love to go with you. Okay, that's it. It's a book of hymns. Inside it is a comic book, and inside that... Time to go, I guess. I wonder if I can do everything in town before the festival starts properly in this video. Hopefully. Oh! I quite like that. Oh no, now I just remembered that screenshot about the lake. I see. It was also showing off the lighting they're doing. It's your mom's van. You're not gonna mention anything else, Chris, like what you did? Guess not. I'm trying to think, when it comes to my own speculation, I'm wondering if... Like, I assume the festival's gonna happen at some point. There's gonna be a Dark World in Flower King. We're gonna go in there. The lead up to that, I have no idea. Oh. Okay. A door you haven't attempted to open in a long time. Through the window you see Caddy wearing a weird outfit. Her sister tries to lick her face clean while Caddy pushes her away. You don't need to watch this. You don't need to watch this. A grill upgraded by Sans. But how important to Sans can a grill be? Oh, I think I get it. Grill bees. Are the eyes looking this way? I thought they were supposed to be donuts, or was that just a gag that you can also see donuts? And it's just ignoring, like the message was just ignoring the eyes in the window, which is what everyone is gonna pay attention to. Anyway, I need to finish my thought. I'm wondering if we're gonna enter the shelter right at the end of the chapter, and that's gonna be the cliffhanger. I was thinking about the codes, and we know where one of the codes is, and it's probably 1225, meaning December 25th. I'm wondering if we already know the second code, because one of the symbols is the Deltarune, and the most closely associated thing with the Deltarune is the church. There's some chance that, I don't know, the Deltarune is on Toriel's house. So, well, I guess the Dreamer household, but, you know, I'm just thinking of it that way. But what code did the fire extinguisher tell us in the church? 2202. And I know it was used for the lock that leads to the third sanctuary, but it could also double as one of the shelter codes. So if that's the case, then we have most of the codes, and if the last code is associated with the police force, and Asgore is a former cop, then I see how that could lead to us finding all of the codes in this chapter. Okay, enough rambling. I'm gonna do this a lot, I hope you don't mind. Someone did say that he likes my analytical approach, so I'm not discouraged from doing this. Oh, Chris. Upsy daisy. Ready for today's festival? I have a feeling it'll be my biggest sales ever. Chris, did I ever tell you, back when we were just young buds, your mother and I were voted Festival King and Queen? Oh, is that gonna be a thing? We're gonna be the king and queen of this festival, is what I'm thinking now. And is it gonna change depending on the Snowgrave route? Probably. Almost certainly. You tell me every year. I don't know, that's probably true, but it's funny. I am distanced from Chris because of everything I know. So I'm thinking, yeah, Chris, this is probably the right answer for you, but this is the right answer for me. And that's what I'm doing. I didn't know that. Oh, is that so? Well, you're going to love this story. Oh, your mother. Ever since I laid eyes on her crooked smile, it was love at first sight. We became so famous in the annual nose-nuzzling contest. Wait. Isn't this just like Undertale? Isn't this what Gerson described? The Undertale Gerson, that is. We were voted Festival King and Queen year after year. Actually, that's why my store is called Flower King. I think we could have guessed most of that. Chris, you and Little Prince Asriel are royalty too. May I bring up a serious topic for a moment? I like that we have new expressions for the portraits. Yes, please. Chris, your mother, living on a single teacher's salary. She tries to hide it, but I can't imagine it's not difficult. Chris, if things go well with Carol, I think I might be able to get my old job back. Promise. If I didn't know about the insidious conspiracy, that would be a sweet thing for him to say. That would be him moving on from whatever happened. But because I know, I'm just not sure that it is gonna go well. I think everything's gonna go to hell. And it's not just because of what Toby said about the sun going down. Come by with your friend later, Chris. I'll give you a free rose. A rose? Oh man, if that's gonna play into Snowgrave, I'm slightly annoyed that Toby had to change the graphic, actually. Like, if the image of a rose is associated with something awful, if that's gonna be a thing, it's not gonna work as well now because that imagery hasn't been established on that route. Eh. You know, I think in Toby's place, I would keep the graphic the way it is and say, listen, art is what it is. It's open to interpretation, but I feel that I must say in this one instance that your interpretation is incorrect. That's just me. Oh, cool. I believe I've seen the white rabbit before. I do want to get some chamomile, is it? I've heard of that, but I haven't pronounced it in ages. I might have messed it up. And marigolds. Well, with the mayor's discount, it'd be crazy not to. Sure, but even so, I feel bad for him. He tries to give me them for free, and I have to insist. Some people are just hopeless, QC. You can't help them. Fa. Excited. Love setting up logs. Oh god, right. That is gonna happen. Oh, is that a lantern next to him? That red thing? If any strange noises can be heard, I want to point out that maybe I have indigestion. I was fine before I hit record. Is the pressure just getting to me or something? And I'm yapping so much that my throat's getting sore. And that's the reason why I'm not streaming this. I don't want to wear myself out, and I want to have time to digest everything. Nor do I want to be influenced or distracted by chat. Hey, little buddy. Ready for my big show today? Me and my girl are meeting for the first time. On stage. We'll sing our love. In front of the whole town. You up early practicing too? What the hell is that? Sorry, I know. But you could try solo. People will like it, buddy. Interesting implications about Chris playing piano, right? Well, in that case, maybe it is related to Dessa's disappearance specifically. That's why Chris doesn't want to play. Or maybe it's Asriel, I'm not sure. Okay, there's nothing to overhear there. Huh. Is that how that was before? It becomes bright when you get close to it. That's a nice touch. Maybe I'll save a bit later. It's so funny to me that Toby had to make that concession. I get the idea that you're supposed to only be able to save in Dark Worlds because of the power of the soul, I assume. But yeah, the more stuff there is to do in the Light World, the more just the basic convenience of being able to save on the regular becomes desirable. A box of books that talk about how to barricade doors. Personally, I would do an entire session until I reach a save point, but if there's a huge preamble, including me speaking being a ramble, and then lots of stuff in the festival, and only after all of that would you be able to save, I can see how that would be a problem. Huh. Oh yeah, I guess it's a railroad, an instance of railroading, like when the street was full of cars to make you go into the library for the second Dark World. Susie probably spent the night in Castletown, didn't she? Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm gonna examine everything here. Oh, there's a flyer. Today is the festival. Why the heck are you in? School? The flyer is hard to read because the background is entirely soccer balls. The locker is covered in Jockington memorabilia. When I read this, I thought it would just be the same about the... what was it, the Sadie Hawkins dance? Ah, there it is. The locker is locked. The locker's lock is locked. The locker is locked. This is actually a really fun exercise, this whole sequence. The locker's locker is locked. The locker is locked. What the heck are you doing here? You check the time, it seems to not be time for class. Sure. Originally, the wallpaper was two buff superheroes hugging. Then, probably due to your mom's influence, it was edited to them being 4 inches apart due to school dance rules. Now, I think this is new. The superheroes are back together again. Perhaps because it's the weekend. It's a bunch of roses. There's a drawing by Temmie of her with an additional set of ears. Seems to be motivating you to play a certain MMORPG. You decided to pass. The internet is having an outage anyway. Yeah, there's the reminder of that. I don't know how the hell to read this. Wait, have I not had to read Temmie's dialogue until... oh wait, I think there was a little bit of it. In chapters 3 and 4. Tem get knowledge. Tem learn. Yesterday, Tem finally learned. Tem learned no class on weekend. And why are you here? I guess that's the whole thing. Weren't the eggs in here? Wonder where they are now. Lockers, they are dead. Damn, Susie. You put that much force into that? I don't remember noticing that before. Water fountain. You turned it on and blocked the stream with your finger. The fountain was sealed. Oh, I didn't think that would have ominous implications. For some reason, you thought about showing this to Susie later. Maybe not ominous necessarily, but definitely more important than a joke about a sitcom, I think, is what was the whole thing. If people put their mouths on that, you know. It's a flyer encouraging you to vote Jockington as Festival King and Queen. Wait, him alone is both? Maybe. It's impossible to read as the background is all basketballs. Well, that one was soccer balls, this one's basketballs. Got it. Okay. Huh. It's your locker, it's empty. Used to be your brother's locker. I think one connection people made about Asriel is that Chris is consistently hiding the night, and in Queen's Mansion, Chris was hiding Asriel's room. I can't help but wonder myself if Asriel isn't in some way involved in whatever the heck is up with Hometown, and he was very close to Des. Why would Chris be hiding things related to Asriel like that? If Asriel didn't have an important role to play in all of this. I don't necessarily think he's the Knight. I don't care who the Knight is. You might as well be asking me who killed Laura Palmer. I don't give a shit. We've seen something far more important and far more ominous than that, I think. Or at least we've seen implications with, is there something on the throne of the gods? You know, I'm aware of Gaster, I'm aware of the shelter, I'm aware of the conspiracy, and it's like, who specifically the Knight is not as important as that. That's where my head is at. Miss Toriel is written in cursive on the dry erase board. Seems like it hasn't been erased in a very long time. You uncapped the yellow-scented marker and gave it a sniff. You're hit with an overpowering floral bouquet. Actually, it's hard to tell with the flowers behind you. It's a poster of several basic shapes. Circle, oval, square, hyperdodecahedron. Yeah, that's the same. I'm just being thorough. Kids' books, some of them used to be yours. It's a primitive drawing of your mom. Flowers. Oh yeah, the computer. It's your mom's computer wallpaper. You're wearing a cowboy hat, sitting on somebody's lap. Asgore, presumably? Okay, well, this is obviously the thing. There's a white napkin on top of the tower. Imagining someone eating on top of this, you felt ill. They've sullied the throne of the gods. That's interesting, though. With Susie messing around in here, I can see that. Obviously, I think I'm gonna cut it off before going into Castletown. But I will check everything else in here first. Okay, it's just empty. Yeah, it's the same line from Chapter 2. When you clean up the room there. Alright. Pretty uneventful, but at least I got all of my random ramblings out of the way. So next time, I guess I'll do everything in Castletown. Presumably. We'll see. Thank you for watching.